This podcast is part of the Podcast Arcade Network.
Thank you for listening to the Covert Nerd Podcast. I really appreciate the time that you give me. Before we get into the episode, if you can think of somebody that would like this topic that you're about to listen to, please pause the podcast and share it with them. You can also go to covertnerd.net and look at previous episodes and different ways that you can get in touch with me. Let me know what you think. Without further ado, let's dive right in and nerd it up. We are live and ready to go, and we're darker and edgier than ever before. But we have to say it like Christian Bale in Batman, like you're gargling marbles or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not doing that to my voice.
I don't know how he did that, but maybe they dubbed it over later. I don't know. But anyway, so I decided to name this series the Darker and Edgier because that's what it was in the 90s. They just switched to the darker and edgier type of comics, and that's what makes this series, I think, really fun because, well, you know, we were all young, and that's kind of when we got into comics. That makes it part of the fun, too, but it was definitely a turning point. Whether for good or for bad, you can make that argument, I guess, but that's the route it went. I just noticed last time, guys, that episode 90 was the first in the series, so it kind of fits that we're doing 90s comics, and it started on episode 90. So Ben had that planned all along, right?
That's right. That's what I always wanted.
Yes, yeah. Synchronized. So, all right. But today we're doing, so last time, I'll put a link in the show notes. Last time we did just kind of our favorite 90s comics, but this time we're going to zero in more on why the 90s became so iconic was because of all the covers, all the gimmicky, fun covers. It was beginning of all these types of covers. So we're going to go through some of our favorites. I guess anybody want to go first? Ben or Al? Want to start?
I vote Al.
Okay. All right. You're first, Al. What was your first, maybe not necessarily your favorite, but your favorite for this series, your pick?
When you're talking about gimmicky covers, I think like the one that definitely jumps out in my mind as the most gimmicky and maybe even started off the super gimmick covers, I got to go with the Silver Surfer number 50.
Yes.
Getting the light there. So the fun thing about this is the corner box is embossed. Obviously, the cover is on a thicker board paper than your standard floppy newsprint. And of course, the Silver Surfer is silver. So
silver, yes.
Yeah. It's actually not a bad issue. It's this sets up the Infinity Gauntlet, which they took a lot of for the Avengers movies. Thanos has all of the rings or has all the stones on the Infinity Gauntlet, and he's headed towards Earth, and Silver Surfer is trying to get there and warn everybody on Earth, and he confronts.
Oh, okay. I kind of forgot. I thought that was the Thanos quest, but no, so Silver Surfer. Okay.
Yeah, so it's written by Jim Starlin, who pretty much he created Thanos.
Yep.
And he's more or less the author of the cosmic Marvel universe, like I said, which is a lot of what we saw in the last run of the movies there.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about this is this book came out before the X-Men book.
Oh.
So this was published in May of 1991.
Yeah.
And it was actually before Spider-Man and X-Men. This came out.
I think this was the first kind of gimmicky cover. First one to use chromium, I believe. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to find it here. The first cover to use a chromium embossing type of method, I guess. So okay.
Yeah. So I got mine via subscription. I think this may have been the first issue that I got in the subscription. But I can imagine if you'd seen this on a newsstand that this was going to jump out.
Oh yeah.
It was clearly going to set itself apart from everything else on that rack.
Yes. Because you'd literally never seen this before. If this quote that I found is accurate, that this was the first chromium cover they've ever done. Now, I don't know, maybe some independents might have done some, but you wouldn't have seen that on a spinner rack at a store.
Right. And it feels good. To quote our friend Eddie Foster, it feels really good in the hand.
Feels good in the hand.
Because everything is raised up. It's all, it's embossed, so everything's lifted up a little bit. So it's got a really cool texture to it.
Yeah, and it's done well. We'll see some others where it looks very forced. This looks very natural.
Yeah. Well, and it fits. It's the Silver Surfer. So
yeah.
Right. So you have to make it embossed silver.
Right.
You have to be silver. I think he fights Thanos in like a rock state or something like that. I mean, I think if I remember correctly, Thanos is just toying with him because he has all the gems, so he can do whatever he wants.
Right, and that's exactly it. And there's a lot of flashbacks where Thanos is diving into the Silver Surfer psyche, and so it's actually really cool because if you've never read Silver Surfer before, it really does fall into the Stan Lee model of treat every issue as if it's somebody's first. And so it tells the backstory of the planet that he grew up on and his father and their relationship and how the planet was destroyed and how he sacrificed himself to save the planet. So if you've never read a Silver Surfer book, if you have no idea, anything about the character, this is a really good jumping off point or jumping in point to learn about.
Jump on. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it set up the Infinity Gauntlet, which I'm assuming was the big summer, full spectrum crossover event that season.
That would have been coming. So yeah. No, looks really good. I like.
It's a shame that they didn't take that storyline for when they introduced Silver Surfer in those Fantastic Four movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They really didn't do him justice in those.
No, not at all.
Visually, it looked fine.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. Silver Surfer was fine. Galactus was the one that was a little questionable, I guess.
He was just like he's just like a cloud.
Cloud, yeah.
They took a cue from Green Lantern and just made the bad guy a cloud.
Well, there was also the first Hulk movie with Eric Bana.
Oh, the Ang Lee one?
Yeah. Yes. At the end, Nick Nolte becomes a cloud, and the Hulk is just fighting the cloud.
Yeah. Oh, I barely remember that because me and my friends went to a drive-in theater for that, and I remember I literally fell asleep in the backseat of my friend's car watching that Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
That's once the dogs,
once you fight the dogs, just turn it off. It's like they ran out of money. They put all the budget into making the Surfer look good, and then just like, oh no, we don't have money for Galactus. Make him a cloud.
Just do him a cloud. He's got the typical the studio exec. Just make it a cloud. They'll like it.
Right.
Well, it's not like Galactus has a distinct look that you could identify on screen or on page very easily. So if you just make him an indistinct cloud, it fits.
Right. It was. I mean, they mixed him up all the time in the books. It was really hard to tell what was going on with Galactus. Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that Ron. Sorry. Go ahead.
At the end of the book, he crashes into the Sanctum Sanctorum to really bring everything in.
Sets up the movie. I see that sets up the comic book and the movie, but the Ron Lim did the art, and I think Ron Lim did all of the Infinity Gauntlet stuff, and then all those books.
He did a lot. Yeah. Him and Jim Starlin was the author and the architect, but Ron Lim was definitely his right hand man, and he had a long run on the Silver Surfer. He was on for
Okay, so this wasn't a one shot for him.
No, he was the regular. In fact, they've relaunched the Silver Surfer book recently, and they got Ron Lim back.
Nice.
So,
really?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
His art's really good. I mean, it's maybe not. I guess maybe not as standoutish or as iconic as maybe Jim Lee or some of those other guys, but it's still very solid.
It's very solid, and it's the challenging thing about the Silver Surfer is you have to come up with dynamic ways to basically just draw a naked gym rat over and over and over again, and make him shiny and make it look good.
Yeah. And do you do reflections? How do you do? Like you can see here on some of these where he's got the shiny lights or whatever reflecting off him. How do you do that? So
Yeah, he figured it out. He definitely had a formula. Yeah.
All right. Well, pick this up. I'm sure you can pick this up and trade. I don't know if you can get a single issue, but
I'm pretty sure that with the numbers that they were putting out, I think this was one of the. I don't know exactly how many numbers they printed, but I think it's a safe bet you could go into your local shop and still snag a copy fairly cheap. It's probably $5-10.
$5, yeah. So I was just gonna say probably $5-10. So if you want the original chromium cover,
right?
So Al, you picked up the first Gimmick cover of the '90s.
Yeah.
Well done.
Thank you.
All right, Ben, what do you got for us?
I am gonna go with X-Men #1 reissue.
Yep.
Where they did the where's my camera? Where they did the multiple covers.
Yep.
To con you into buying it 4 times. Technically, I bought it 5 times. My 5th one's still over on the shelf to make one cohesive picture. I, much like most people who bought gimmicky type things in the early 90s, I bought this literally because I went, that's super cool that it makes one cover. I've got the one with the fold out cover, so I've got the complete 5-book set. That's my retirement plan. When I'm my age now, when I was, in 91, when I was younger, 1920s, whatever, 15 even actually, I went, you know what, when I'm like 40, this is going to be worth money. Well, here I am about to turn 39, and I just looked it up, and if these were in mint condition, I could get $9 a piece for them.
So
they are not in mint condition.
Oh, man.
But no, this was this fell right in line with, like Al said, just with the last one, just something big and different, basically to sell copies like this. They consider, one of the things I read is they say that this issue, the re-release of X-Men #1, is the single best-selling comic of all time. It sold 8 million copies.
Yep.
Because you had people like me who bought it 5 times.
Yep.
But it was also, they got their new best and brightest writers and illustrators on it. Chris Claremont and Jim Lee worked on this. So, I mean, they had some names behind it, but it was pure gimmick. It was pure, hey, how can we get more sales? How can we move more units? And they said, hey, let's make people buy it 5 times. And we all fell for it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah. So, but yeah, like I said, I haven't flipped through the book in forever, but I do remember that I literally bought it for that gimmick and thinking that since it was so cool and rare, that it would be worth tons of money sometime down the road.
8 million other people thought the same thing.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great cover, great story actually too. And
to be fair, that it did inspire the Culty saga for Lenny Vernon for Omug for me and Al. We paid homage to the X-Men here by making an interlinking cover. Now, granted, to be fair, ours isn't the same book 3 times.
Right.
It's a full story, so we didn't trick you into buying the same story 3 times.
And we didn't have the budget for variant covers.
Yeah.
Give you something different every time. We're not gonna be a Marvel exec and try to figure a way out to scam these little kids out of their money.
Right.
This is one that I got in one of those, I guess, basically a grab bag at Walmart. They put a good comic on top, which was X-Men, and then they put a bunch of mediocre ones behind it. I think so. It was X-Men #1, Guardians of the Galaxy, New Warriors, and Darkhawk for the rest of them.
That sounds right.
Yeah, and so I picked it up, but I got one of the variant covers, and then I figured out later, it goes together, and you have to buy all these other ones, and so of course I was like Ben. I went out and picked up all 5 of them, and then bought the gatefold one with all of it together, and again, hook, line, and sinker every single time.
Yep. And I actually remember now, as I'm thinking about it too, I bought them all at once from my local comic shop. So like all 5 copies, and I took them home and I like laid them out. I saw the cool picture. I'm like, that's awesome. And I cracked open the first one, the first of the series of the images, and I read through it. And then I went, that was sweet. And I took the second one, I cracked it open, and I started reading. I went, wait, it's the same book. And so then the third one, I open it, it's the same book. Fourth one, it's the same book. And I was like, oh, those bastards.
Yeah,
I felt a little jip, but at the same time, I was like, but don't remember, it's going to be worth money. So keep it. Don't be too upset.
Yeah, hang on to that.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know that any other cover, maybe they had done something like this, but that was, I think, a first in that style, to have this grand picture drawn out for you. And, bringing in Jim Lee, and of course, Chris Claremont had been doing X-Men for years. And so you had a solid writer and solid artist in Jim Lee. So very good story, in my opinion. But I kind of cut my teeth on comics with this one. So of course I thought it was good at the time. I went back and reread it, and it's a little wordy, but so were most of 80s and 90s comics, in my opinion.
Well, I feel like anytime you get Magneto involved, it starts getting wordy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You got Asteroid M. You got the whole team. Nick Fury. Again, another. So even inside the issue, you have these fold-out spreads that they do. So not only on the cover, you're having 3 to 5 sheets. You're doing each one. You're doing at least 2 so far that I've seen that have the fold-out.
Yeah, every time you turn a page in this book, you've got Jim Lee showing off, and I don't know how many of these images all became posters and promotional pictures and T-shirts, and it seems every page was something that just kept on going.
So if you see Wolverine in this bottom kind of middle one, he was that pose was featured on several advertisements I kind of remember in comic book catalogs. He was all kind of bent down, and I kind of remember that. But very bright colors. This wasn't the first blue and yellow, was it? But it was one of the first ones, I think, where they did the blue and yellow team.
In Uncanny X-Men in the Uncanny X-Men book leading up to this, they'd had the blue and yellow costumes.
Okay.
Yeah, that was when Jim Lee was doing Uncanny. They had everybody on the team, even Wolverine. They all had matching uniforms. And then in this story, they broke the teams up into the blue team and the gold team. And I forget which one is which, but one team was X-Men, one team was Uncanny X-Men.
That's right. I think Storm took one team. Yeah, I think that's how it was. Okay.
Yeah, she was in Uncanny with either the blue or the gold, whichever one it was.
I think Cyclops took the other team in the regular X-Men. Okay. That's when this happened. Still a good story, fun, but interesting. It was a good cover. I'm not going to lie. That cover is iconic. I'm not going to knock it.
Oh, yeah.
Even 30 years later, it still looks magnificent.
And it absolutely did the job. The point of the cover is to grab your attention and get you to buy it. And they did that in spades, obviously.
Yep. Still does.
And generated a bunch of inflated false numbers, but
yeah, right. 8 million.
8 million.
Yeah.
Best-selling issue ever.
Yeah.
Jesse in the chat says magnificent hair. I assume he's referring to Magneto.
Right.
I don't think, unless he's referring to you, Al. I don't know.
It could be, a little extra.
Magneto does have some good hair in this issue, so.
He does. Let's see if I can find that again. He's got that glorious white mane that he has. Let's see here at the second page in. He's standing. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Flowing locks.
He's got the cape flowing. The hair's flowing. Can't go wrong.
Which is odd because he's in space. So how's everything flowing?
Good point. Well, I think they say that he has the magnetic field around his body somehow, and that's how he can breathe. Right. But you're right. The hair wouldn't be flowing. I don't think the cape would be either. I don't know. It's comic books. All right. So my pick then, let's go ahead and stick with the X-Men theme and go with X-Men number 304, which is the cover that has the hologram card on it, basically. Let me see if I can find it here.
Oh, yeah.
And the Fatal Attractions one. It's got a fold out cover as well, but they did a whole series of these where they just basically slap a hologram card on the cover. Mm-hmm. And I liked it. I still was a big X-Men fan at the time, but I guess at this point I was like, you guys are kind of stretching it a little bit. I'm just, you're kind of not trying as hard or something like that. I don't know. It just seemed to, at the time, I was like, it's not really getting me anymore. It seems like they were, hey, we got these hologram covers and we need to sell some books. Let's just slap it on there. This wasn't like Silver Surfer where it really fit. It wasn't like the X-Men, Uncanny X-Men that we just saw, the X-Men, where it kind of worked. This one seems quickly thrown together.
Lazy.
Yes.
Well, it seems like they, like you said, some exec somebody went, like, oh, holograms are big now. Let's put them on the cover. And it's like, yeah, okay.
What
I guess we can do that.
What can we do to charge $3.95?
They did this throughout the entire X family, X Factor.
Yes.
I was going to say, because I distinctly remember having one of these where the hologram card was Shatterstar.
Yes. Yep. So it was called the Fatal Attraction series. I think there was 8 or 10 issues, and each one featured a different hologram cover. So there was a Wolverine one. I remember I had that because I had and then the X-Men issue, X-Force, X-Factor, all of them had their own cover in this specific hologram card to their cover.
Oh, I was going to say this one on X-Men 304. X-Men 300 was a trifold cover with all the X's in the foil. So they put a Gimmick cover out 3 months after they put a Gimmick cover out.
Yes. So because they just had the 300th issue, which was good, but then Al's right. 3 months later, they're asking you to spend $3.95 again on another Gimmick cover, because this came out in September of '93, and this is the synopsis was this was the gathering for Illyana's funeral, Colossus's sister, and this is where Colossus joins Magneto. So that was a big deal because he had left Xavier's plan for peaceful coexistence with the humans and decides to side with Magneto on this one. I still like X-Men, still liked X-Men at this time, but at the time I was like, I don't know. You guys are kind of pushing it a little bit. It just was kind of ho-hum, I guess. It's like, well, nice cover, but kind of, looks like, again, I could have done it. I could have just slapped a hologram card on the cover and called it good. It's
because the hologram itself wasn't anything special.
No,
it was just
since it's just the hologram card. It's like, well, why didn't you guys just polybag it and put a card in there, and then I could collect the cards, which I know they did later anyway. But they could have just done that, and I would have been maybe happier.
Well, and that would have been with X-Force, with X-Force 1, and that's one of the reasons why X-Force 1 sold the numbers that it did, because everybody bought 2. Or sometimes 3, depending on trying to get the different cards. But you'd have one that you would open, and then one that you would keep in the original polybag.
Yeah.
Always,
so I don't know what the logic was with this. It just seemed forced. It seemed sloppy. So that's when I think from this point on, I don't think I renewed my Uncanny X-Men subscription. I kind of just started letting it go. So it wasn't necessarily because of this. It just, I don't know. I just wasn't into X-Men as much anymore after this point. So, but anyway, still, you can still pick it up. Again, just like I think it was Ben or Al said, you can still pick this up on eBay for $5, $6. It's we're still waiting for the retirement money to come in, right, Ben?
Yeah. Every time we start playing one of these, like I looked up all the different issues that I've had. It's like mint condition, like 9.9 graded book is like maybe like $150, and it's like, oh, this was supposed to be like thousands and thousands of dollars.
What's
like
I'm
supposed to slap this down at the Ferrari dealership and be like, yes, I'll take that one. Here's my X-Men #1, and the salesman would be like, oh, we actually owe you change now.
What's going to happen when you're 89 on your deathbed. Finally, you'll get the notification. It's worth $1,000. Finally,
right.
As you pass on. Oh man, I knew it would happen.
I just had to wait.
I just had to wait till I was 89. I can't remember.
Patience is the key.
Exactly. All right. So, Al, what was your next pick?
Yeah, so the hologram squares there, that was 1993. Well, yeah, so Punisher number 75 here was also in 1993 because Image was just apparently just mopping the floor with Marvel in terms of sales. So they decided to up the game and just lean into these gimmick covers. And man, this book is awful. This book is terrible. So, because not only is this cover like just really lazy, because so it's cardstock again, right? Because they're kind of doing the same thing as Silver Surfer. The knuckles are raised. If you feel the knuckles, those are lifted.
Okay.
The knife is, of course, the same silver, like the Silver Surfer. The Punisher is silver, and it's shiny and reflective, but it's not raised. They lifted the knuckles, not
the cover.
The logo. And the skull on his face, like you can feel his chin. So that's a nice touch that the chin is lifted.
Is the 75 raised?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. That tiny little. Yep. Yeah. And it's just not a good story. I was reading I reread it and I was wondering why I ever read Punisher. I mean, I guess I get it because when I was 13 or whenever this came out, this checks every action movie cliche. It checks all the boxes. You've got big dramatic shootouts.
Well, isn't that every Punisher book?
No, not really. Because sometimes there was actual surveillance and espionage and more James Bond stuff. You've got a psychopath coming out with a giant chain gun. You've got helicopters. You've got people dangling from helicopters. You've got tiny gunships, massive explosions. It's just every single action movie. It checks all the lame boxes and the names. I wrote some of them down because they're awful.
Well, wasn't the guy the group that was chasing him was called Vigil?
Yeah, there's another guy named Nails. Another dude named Wilco. There's Blackwell. It's
man.
Yeah.
Okay. This
this
one right here, this screen. I'm gonna have to put this in the notes. That just screams again. That's 90s comics right there.
Yeah. I guess when I was 12, I probably ate this up with a spoon. Looking at it now, it doesn't do well. What's cool though is the only redeeming thing about this book. There's 3 stories, and this is the first story which wraps up some arc. See, he's dangling from a helicopter because you have to.
Yeah.
How else do you travel by helicopter? Inside?
With one arm on the bottom, of course.
Right. Yeah, he's hanging on by his fingertips. Come on.
Yes.
That's the only way the Punisher travels by helicopter. He's never been in it. So the second story. Oh, and there's also the story. This story that was wrapping up the arc here. It's a bunch of cops that decided to become vigilantes to hunt vigilantes. And the Punisher ends up winning in the end without actually having to kill anybody, and a lot of cliches here. The guy is getting his he's going to get caught in the ropes. Now there's even more helicopter dangling.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Punisher helps him, of course.
The way Punisher is grabbing on there and where his elbow is, when that rope gets caught, that's going to suck.
That's going to hurt.
Once the slack goes out.
Yeah, they're going to wish they hadn't done that way.
He's going to hope that any breeding has already been taken care of.
Oh, wow. You're right. This just hits every cliche action movie. You could put Schwarzenegger in here or Sylvester Stallone, any 80s action hero fit right in.
Yep. Yeah, it's like they found a discarded Shane Black script and just illustrated.
Right.
But you were a Punisher fan.
This was Commando 2.
Commando 2.
Yeah.
But you were a Punisher fan though, right?
I was a Punisher fan. Actually, this was another one that I actually subscribed to. So I did get this issue in the mail. Read it religiously every month for a while.
Now this, let's see. I don't know. The artwork's pretty good. It's okay.
The art,
it's not
in this story. In the second story, the art's atrocious. But what's really fun is the third story. If you're a comic art nerd, the third story is art by Simon Bisley, who is more known for painting. He's done a lot of really great painted comics, Batman, Joker books, a lot of some Judge Dredd. That second story was just awful. This is the Simon Bisley, and it's only like 2 pages.
How many pages was this?
The book itself?
Yeah, it's like 64. Or...
No, I mean it's bigger than average, but I think probably 35, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Maybe 40.
Is this Flare Up? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, that's the Simon Bisley.
Okay.
And normally, any other time you see Simon Bisley art, it's normally pretty gruesome, and it's like I said, it's typically hand painted. You don't often see him doing ink and with a separate colorist, but
wow, look at his arms; they're all like veiny and stuff, and
right,
definitely a different take on Punisher.
Yeah, and you get a guy being burned alive.
Yeah, man, they're really pushing the. Does this still have the Comics Code of Authority on it still?
It does not. No.
Okay, well then that's why. Okay.
No, it does actually. It does. Yeah.
It does.
Right? Yeah, underneath 75, it does have it on there.
Wow, I can't believe they got away with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think Image was forcing their hand a lot.
They were. Oh yeah, especially by this time. Definitely, because this is 93. You said.
Yeah. This was published in February of 93.
Yeah, so they were getting their clocks clean by this time by Image. All their talent had pretty much left at that point.
I think because I think in 93 you already had like the second generation, the second wave of Image guys with I think Sam Keith and Dale Keown had already jumped ship.
Yep. Oh yeah, Sam Keith was gone, Dale Keown was gone, so yeah, they're pretty much on a string budget with artists and writers at this point, trying to find anybody and everybody that'll come work for them and produce something. Yeah. So cool. Well, I like the cover. Like I said, does look great, but why did you raise the knuckles but not, the Punisher logo?
Graphically from a distance it looks fine, and I could see how it's gonna jump off the shelf and grab the eye.
Yeah.
But some of the choices they made, the hilt on the knife is raised up. That's embossed. Okay. That's fine. But the knuckles, really? The chin? Come on.
Is the blood and the top of the blade, is that in chrome or anything like that?
No. Okay. There's a little bit of chrome. I mean, the chrome on the knife, and all that's embossed. So you can feel the blood drip on the knife. That's up. Yeah.
Okay.
And
they had blood on the cover. Wow. Again, the Comics Code of Authority. I can't believe they got this by.
I think that was the Comics Code really doing anything at this point other than just like, hey, no profanity, no sex.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, you can't show a lot of skin, can't have profanity at this point, because you can definitely see like what they're doing here versus even 3 years earlier on stuff in 1990 versus 93. Big difference.
Yeah.
So, and the fact I think even Marvel was the first one to jump ship, but that wasn't until I think the late 90s when they just got rid of the Comics Code of Authority altogether.
Yeah.
So fun cover, but you're saying the inside story is less than
reading
stellar.
It now, like you said, when I was 12, it was probably amazing, but now, no, it's cliche and just hacky.
Well, there you go. You could borrow something from Lenny Vernon from here, maybe more explosions.
Right. Yeah. Just
see, they had
into the cliches.
They had some guy with like gold chains or something like that. That was looked like a Russian mobster or something.
Yeah.
I'll start researching how to do embossed covers.
There you go. Like the guy right behind him that has like the gold chain and bald. He just needs a tracksuit and he'd be a perfect Russian mobster.
Yep. All the stereotypes.
Oh yeah. Oh man. All right. Yeah, here, like the blow panel, everybody's just getting riddled with bullets.
That's the comics code.
Oh, man. Well, anyway, okay. All right. Ben, what do you got for us?
All right. My second choice, which falls in line with all of my comic book buying habits, is Ghost Rider number 15 from July of 1991, written by Howard Mackie and art by Max, I don't know how to say it, Texeira?
Mark Teixeira.
There you go. I have no idea what happens in this comic book. I've never read this one.
Oh.
But you know what? It's got Ghost Rider, who's a flaming skull that rides a Harley.
Yeah.
Yep.
And this one glows in the dark.
Yes.
Were you afraid to crack the spine so as not to hurt your retirement fund?
I mean, I'm sure that played a little bit into it. But like I've been kind of just like flipping through different articles about this one, and as I'm like reading like synopsis of it, and I'm like, I don't think I ever read this book. I bought it because it glows in the dark.
Yep.
And there was two different versions of it. A second release or second, however you want to call it, is the exact same cover, but instead of black on the background, it was more of a kind of white or tan, I guess is the best way to put it. So you could still see the white flames and it still glowed in the dark, but that was the second printing. It wasn't worth as much, or I mean, they're both worth nothing now, but.
Well, wait, no,
but
hold
this
on
one,
here. I looked it up, Ben. It's worth $5 right now.
And if you look at the picture that you have, the cover price was $1.75. So
yeah, you've more than doubled your money in 30 years.
Right? Yeah.
Hey.
So I did some like brief research on this one because, like I said, I never actually read it. But apparently this was part of the series that had been launched by Howard Mackie as the writer, where they replaced Johnny Blaze as the Ghost Rider. So Johnny Blaze is not the Ghost Rider in this series. It's Daniel Ketch, whoever that is. So, you know, but from what I can tell, it's a typical Ghost Rider story. He rides around, he finds bad guys, and he punishes them. I think part of his vengeance run is the bad guy whose name is Blackout killed his sister, I believe.
Yeah, I was flipping through it, and I think Blackout is like killing some people, and he's trying to stop Blackout. I don't know a lot about Ghost Rider, but wasn't Blackout one of his main villains, I think? Or maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. Probably.
I never fully got into Ghost Rider. I read some of them. And from like our previous conversation, mainly because it wasn't Spider-Man, it wasn't X-Men.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is a different character that nobody really seems to be fully into, or he's at least not as famous as the rest of them. So I would pick up books every now and then and read them, but like I never really ever owned or bought like a full run of Ghost Rider books.
I wasn't into it either. It just didn't. The concept is good. I watched the Nicolas Cage Ghost Rider just to check it out.
I was excited for that. Less so once it started actually playing.
Did you fall asleep to that one too, Ben?
No, I fought my way through that one.
It actually wasn't bad. It was okay.
Yeah.
But it's just like the comic book. It's like I didn't hate Ghost Rider, but I wasn't purposely seeking him out. But the cover, though, the idea of a glow in the dark cover, though, I have to admit that's pretty good. That's a good idea. That's not bad.
Well, and like we were talking about with some of the other ones, where that doesn't seem like they tried as hard. Not that glow in the dark is really deep in thought, but
no,
they put the thought process in of picking the right character. I mean,
yes,
his head is a flaming skull, so if you're going to do a glow in the dark gimmick cover, it should probably be that character and not like, Wolverine or Punisher or something weird like that. So they at least had the forethought of that.
Do you still have this?
Yeah, somewhere.
Does it still glow?
I don't have it in my possession now. Like I think it's in a long box at my parents' house, actually.
Okay.
So if
nothing else, you have a nightlight.
if it still glows, it's actually worth like $7 instead of $5.
Jesse says that the movie wasn't good, but it was entertaining.
It was both of. I actually
That's valid.
I saw the second one in the theater because I'm a sucker, and the visuals were great. I'll say that. Just like the book, I actually bought. I didn't have this one, but I think I had every issue around this issue.
Okay.
Because Ghost Rider always seemed to get good artists, and they had like Jim Lee did a handful of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't tell you what happened in them, but I know that the art was always cool.
I would say it takes a lot of talent to draw him, because look at all the flames and the bike.
You have the bike, the chains, the spikes, the skull. Like, yeah, that's a challenging job.
Yeah, the art's good in my opinion. It looks really detailed and gritty. It has that gritty look, which I think, again, like Ben said, the cover fits the character, and I think the art here fits the character. You know, that gritty, dark style. I mean, you got the guy, you know, his head is bleeding off of him. I mean, again, this is, what year was this? 91? Again, I can't believe Comics Code of Authority allowed some of this stuff, but really good. I just never really got into it. I don't know. It doesn't really, I kind of was flipping through it and it doesn't necessarily make sense, but I haven't sat down and read every word and figured it out. But
I think the thing with Ghost Rider is they could always just fall back on, you know, if they were like, I don't know if the story makes sense. Is anybody going to buy it? Like, look, man, it's a biker with a flaming skull.
What more do you need?
Kids will buy it. Like,
they'll buy it. Trust me. Right. Like Ben, he bought it, never read it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you if it's bad.
This story's kind of weak. Make the cover glow in the dark.
There you go. we need a sales bump.
Yeah. Well, here, look at this. So
That's
this
awesome.
would be really hard. Look at that, but it looks great. So like his left leg, you can see his like knee joint.
Yeah, and the flames coming off.
The flames coming off, the spikes. I think Lenny Vernon needs more spikes, Al.
I think Lenny Vernon has too many spikes.
I'm trying to make him as. Oh, I didn't notice this too. Like his chest, you can see his chest bones. It's all. Oh, okay.
He has a wallet chain too.
You're right. He does have a wallet.
Lenny Vernon had a wallet chain once.
Lenny Vernon had a wallet chain for like 3 pages in issue 1.
Yep.
Fun fact, that's like a 20-page issue.
Is he going to make a comeback? Is the wallet chain going to come back?
No. By page 4, I decided that I didn't want to draw that anymore.
Ghost Rider has one.
He sure does. You
well,
also see
the artist of Ghost Rider gets paid a lot more.
Yeah, and in every issue of Ghost Rider, in most pages, in fact, you actually see his mode of transportation.
Right.
Ah, yes.
You do see the motorcycle.
That's right.
Yes. Over and over again.
It's pretty critical.
Yeah.
And you know what's funny about this is researching it a little bit, at least from what I can tell, like the other ones that we've talked about, the Gimmick covers were like for a reason. Like, you know, there's the 30-year anniversary reissue, X-Men #1, all that good stuff.
Right.
The introduction of the Infinity Gauntlet, all that good stuff. Yeah, the Punisher 75. This one, at least from what I can tell, is just like, it's Punisher 15. Let's make it glow in the dark.
Yeah, there was no, it wasn't starting a new storyline or anything. It was just a standalone issue.
Yeah,
you're right. That's unusual.
You'd think they would have saved that for like issue number 25.
Yeah. But no, they're just like, let's do this time.
Unless without this glow in the dark cover, they didn't think they were going to be able to get to issue 25.
Right. Yeah. Maybe that's what it was.
That could be.
We better make this one good because there's probably not going to be a 16.
Right.
So yeah, Mark Terrera, is that how you pronounce it?
Teixeira.
Really good. I think he's a really good artist. I don't know what else he does, but
he also did around this time. There was that Maverick story. Okay. He was like the X-Men mercenary character that palled around.
Oh yeah.
He did that. Okay. That was like a 4 or 5 issue run. Okay. I can't remember anything other than that. He did some fill-in issues here and there on different stuff, but that was, I think, the Maverick run was his biggest one.
I mean, the fact that he can draw a Ghost Rider with all the spikes and the flames, I mean, that's impressive.
Yeah.
he probably wore himself out doing that. I mean, how long would
Yeah.
that take to do? Just that page alone with him on his bike. Can't imagine. And this is before digital.
Right. That's going to be at least one. That's a few days right there.
Oh, at least. Yeah. All hand drawn. So that's impressive. Yeah, I think that's a good cover. I think this gets a good vote because it fits the character, in my opinion. So, all right. Well, last but not least, we've got Bloodstrike. This is a Image comic that had a gimmick cover of being basically heat sensitive. So when you would rub your finger on it and it warmed up the page, then blood would start showing up where they had splattered blood on it. And this came out in April of 1993. And so it's called, you can see up in the corner, Rub the Blood issue. And oh man, I bought this, but my goodness.
That's awful.
It's just the gimmick is just all in, the whole inside is just garbage. The story isn't good. It doesn't make sense. And it's
Extreme Studios.
It's extreme. Exactly. Rob Liefeld.
I say there's nothing more Image than everything that you just said about this comic book.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
It hits it checks every check mark of the gimmicky covers in the 90s. I can't tell you how many titles they had blood, the word blood in it. Now they had Young Blood, Bloodstrike, Blood Hunter, everything was just blood. So why not? And these guys, so Bloodstrike is a strike team, kind of like X-Men. And you'll see, let me see if I can find it here. Their leader is called Cabot. And he looks a little similar to somebody else we might know from X-Men comics.
You're not suggesting that Rob Liefeld's Image work was derivative, are you?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I like the Cable Shatterstar love child there in the middle.
In the Wolverine ripoff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll get to him in a second. But yeah, so here on the left we have Cabot, who's the leader of Bloodstrike, and then here on the right we have Cable. So you can kind of see some similarities here. Just a little bit.
Pretty much the same pose too.
I mean, if you stretch it, I guess you could say they're similar, but I don't know.
So Cabot is the leader, and then you've got Foreplay, who has a lady with 4 arms.
Come on.
Tag, who was a mutant. I don't remember. She can freeze, so anything she touches freezes. And then we have Deadlock.
I'm surprised they didn't call her Freeze Tag.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
That would have been too on the nose.
And then you've got Shogun, so the guy in the back with like the battle suit. So that's Shogun.
That's racist.
And then I'll show you
stereotypical samurai-looking armor.
Yeah. So here is Foreplay. And then down on the right is Deadlock. So tell me who he looks like a little bit of.
Right. It's Spiral and Wolverine.
Yes,
Feral,
exactly.
Wolverine, Wolfsbane.
And then look at her belt. So that looks like an X to me. But if you go and look at they did a remastered version. That's what this one is here. They recolorized it so you don't see it quite as prominent. But
wait, was it Snake Eyes on that page?
It probably was.
Did you say Snake Eyes?
Yeah.
Why not? We're just copying everybody else.
So
let me see if we can get to the original. Like, people getting riddled with bullets, blood everywhere. Yeah. Where is this? I'm going to try to find the page here with the exact same page, but it got remastered and they took the X off of the logo on her belt.
Huh.
But they had to redo. Yeah, they had to redo Deadlock because he looked too much. There it is in the corner. So there's the remastered version, and then here's the original in the corner. So you can kind of tell the difference a little bit. But yeah, later on, Liefeld changed how Deadlock looked because it looked too much like Wolverine, and these guys. So the way it works is they regenerate. So they're basically zombies, hero zombies is what they are.
Huh.
So when they die, they take their body parts and like somehow put them back together and then reanimate them, and that's how they come back. But I think I only picked up this one because it was Image. It was the 90s. You just bought everything that had the Image logo on it.
And you really wanted to rub blood?
Yeah. No, it was more just I bought everything Image at the time. So they sold 935,000 of these. The cover price was $2.95. Current value $3. So see, Ben, you went from $1.75 to $5. This is still worse than what you got.
You get the impression that
I got the sound investment.
When they were making these books, they had no intention of them being good or being a legacy book. Like they had. I think they all knew full well the Blood Strike was not going to see issue 100.
No,
but they also knew that it was all good. It was going like one issue was going to buy them all Ferraris.
Yeah. You said it in the previous issue or previous episode. They were guaranteed to sell minimum 500,000. Just put Image on it, put Rob Liefeld on it, Jim Lee, whatever. It'll sell 500,000 bare minimum. So it doesn't matter. Yeah, I read an article on this later. It was like storylines didn't matter. They had some characters that they just killed off in the issue, and then they just showed up in the next issue without any explanation at all. So
story didn't matter. Copyright infringement didn't matter.
Nope.
Rubbing the blood didn't matter.
Because I'm looking at other pictures of Bloodstrike, and there's a guy that looks like Deathblow in here. There's a chick that looks like just like Domino.
Domino, yeah, from Youngblood. Yeah. It's like there is nothing unique in this book at all. Characters are copies of others. But again, it checks every checkbox for the 90s. You got this double page spread here of people getting kicked, punched, and shot. I mean, it just, again, it hits everything.
Who's the creative team for this? Who did the interior work?
Let's see here. That was, Rob Liefeld, of course, came up with it.
That's why you can tell that because it's wholly unique and original.
Right.
Dana Frega. So Rob Liefeld and Dan Frega did the artwork.
Yeah, Dan Frega is actually still around.
Written by Tim Seeley.
Eric Stevenson did the story with Rob Liefeld. So yeah. But Liefeld, of course, in typical Liefeld fashion, he did the first 2-3 issues, and then he went off to somebody else, and somebody else
did
everything after
Jesse
that.
Keeper has a comment about Blood Rub was my nickname at the Grillmaster Academy alumni mixer.
Oh man, Jesse, I love it.
Yeah, see, I thought that was Snake Eyes.
That's a good one.
See, here we go. Here's Snake Eyes, but this is just some soldier for a fortress they're trying to break into.
Are they running down a wall? Oh, they got ropes there, don't they?
They got ropes. Okay. They're kind of splunking or whatever down the wall.
New Zealand repelling or whatever they call it.
Yeah. But I don't know. I just, when we came up with this gimmick cover, I'm like, oh, I know exactly which one I'm going to pick for this one. I don't have this one. It got damaged and it got some water damage to it. So, but evidently by the value of it, I'm not really out a whole lot.
Right. I'm pretty sure you could probably go down to your local comic shop right now and rub the blood.
For $1. It's probably
in the quarter.
It's in the quarter. Yeah, I just gonna say it's in the quarter.
Yes, it's in the quarter. It's in the quarter racks.
They got 8 of them.
The sales clerk comes around and yells at you, "Hey, this isn't a library. Don't be rubbing the blood here."
Either buy something or get out of here.
There's not going to be any blood rubbing in my store.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Dan Frega, Dan Ray Frega, and Rob Liefeld did this one. But man, fun cover, fun times. Like I said, we all bought this stuff hook, line, and sinker for the most part. It didn't matter.
Yeah, we didn't think.
I mean, that's a good gimmick. That's a good idea. It was. I mean, of course, if you're going to call the team Blood Strike, you got the blood. I mean, I just think they went. Okay. The rub the blood. they went too far with it there.
Yeah.
I mean, overall, it's a good gimmick, and for it to be the #1 issue to launch it, to have a cool gimmicky cover that
it's true.
like you said, gets people hook, line, and sinker. But
that's true. So maybe it does kind of fit the cover, just like the Ghost Rider one. I was like, well, kind of, but it just just screams Image and early '90s like no other.
Right.
Yeah, you can't ask people to rub the blood on a Youngblood book or Blood Wolf, Death Blow. Yeah, you got it. They can only rub the blood on Bloodstrike.
Yes.
Right.
So you need a rub the blood Lenny Vernon issue.
I don't think we need that at all. No.
I feel like that technology is expensive too. to make that cover.
I can't imagine. I don't know.
Could be.
We'll probably price ourselves out that one.
Right, you might have to charge more than $1.95 like these guys did.
Typically, you do have to pay more to rub the blood.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, that's all I got for gimmick covers. So it was fun going down memory lane and checking out some of these old gimmicky covers that we all loved. I don't think any of us can deny that we didn't like it at the time. Maybe not so much now, but still, I think there's still some value in some of them doing some gimmick covers, just as far as, like we said, as long as it fits. And most of these did.
And the thing about it now, though, is they don't. For at least, I'm not a huge comic book buyer now, but from what I can tell, they don't really do like these kind of gimmicky covers. What they do is they just release variant covers.
Yeah, variants.
So, I mean, which granted, the one I used, X-Men #1, was just variant covers, but they don't even make the picture. It's just like, hey, here's this book, and we have 4 different covers.
Yeah, by special artists.
Yeah, but instead of doing like a gimmick, like, hey, it's Silver Surfer, so we're going to use silver, embossing on it. It just seems like you were saying, they're not even trying now. There's like, it's the same book, but we got these cool artists doing the cover, so you're going to buy 4 copies of them now.
Yeah.
Yep.
I see a lot of the blank covers now. I've seen that quite a bit, where you can have somebody draw
covers.
their sketch covers. But yeah, you're right. It's just variants, lots of variants, which I know probably drives comic book store owners crazy, because they just don't know which one is going to sell and which one are they going to have 50 of when they bought 55 of them left, at the end of the month.
Yep.
Right. Well, and you're taking up, 3
Shelf
books
space.
worth of shelf space for 1 book.
Yeah.
So they probably hate that.
So maybe with that in mind, maybe one gimmick cover for them would be better as a store owner than 5 or 8 variant covers.
Yeah,
definitely.
From a financial standpoint, I'm sure they would like that. So, but yeah, well, I hope if you're listening to this later, hope you enjoy it. Let us know what your favorite gimmick cover was. There were so many to choose from. There was a kind of honorable mention. There's the Gene 13, had 13 different variant covers. You had the Spider-Man hologram cover. You had like the Tombstone Spider-Man one. I mean, there was a ton of ones that you could just probably pick from that were fun gimmick covers at the time. So maybe we'll have to revisit it. We'll see. But let us know which ones you liked. If you liked ours that we picked or didn't, let us know too. But yeah, that's all I got, guys. Anything else?
No. As always, it was fun.
Yeah. Thank you guys for coming on. I really appreciate your point of view. And someday we need to maybe set up a Ben's retirement fund, since his comic book cover fund didn't pan out.
Yeah.
Right.
Gonna have to get a GoFundMe going here.
GoFundMe going, because that $5, from $1.75 to $5 gain just isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, it's not working.
Yeah, I need some help. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody in the chat, especially Jesse. Anybody else in the chat for joining in? We always appreciate the insight on puns and all sorts of fun things. But we'll call it a day, and we'll do it again next time. So, thanks everybody.